My motto's always been, when it's right, why wait until the middle of the cold dark night? So Paul, thank you. When everything's a little clearer, in a bright yellow shirt in the light of day, and we know that night, that big old dark scary night's gonna be here anyway. Appetite, looking forward to a little Afternoon Delight, episode 63. Holy cripes! Put up these ebonies and ivories together and make these sparks ignite, and the thought of loving y'all has got me so excited. Sky rockets in flight. Radio land. WLVR, good to see you in the house, brothers and sisters of the radio waves. So let's see, Jason's stopping to talk right after the theme song today. That's different. He usually rolls right into the first song. He must have something on his mind that he wants to talk about. Well, very special event. For those of you who have been, if you're new to the show, or you just kind of stumbled in today is kind of a strange day for you to tune in for your first time. Today is a deep cuts day for all the fans, for all the folks who've been hanging with this thing for 63 episodes. And you know, over those 63 episodes, we've probably only had maybe 3 or 4 songs repeated. The whole adventure between Afternoon Delight and the Thursday night show, it's all been about no repeats, new music every single time. And today is no different, but today what we're doing is we're calling it Whacky World Premiere Wednesday. I dug into this book that you've seen me pop out from time to time. And yesterday, I thought it was fun when we had the world premiere of the one song that nobody had ever heard before, even though it's been in this book for a long time. So I thought I would scroll through the book today and find the handful of songs to fill a half hour, 40 minutes or so today, and play things that's been in this book since the early 2000s. Every song in here has like a 1999, 2001, 2002 date in it. And play every single song that's never been played in public before. So everything you're going to hear today, for better or worse, for quality or not, it's just the spirit of the day is, let's see what's been hiding in these archives for close to 20 years that maybe a roommate or two has heard me tinkling it on the piano, but probably has no, remembrance of it. There's one song in this list that did make it on a demo once that maybe a couple people heard, but I've never played any of these songs out live before. So, with no further ado, let's start with this. So I know we're babbling a lot right off the top, so if you are patient with me, and Jacob, always good to see you in the house. Rach, hi Rach, good to see you, fam. Sonny, always good to see your support as well. Thank you all for tuning in. So this first one, I love this because one of the reasons I probably never played this one live is because this would be, of course, my mid-20s period. Because I'm at that point in my life when I can talk about the eras of my life. And this is a song from that era of long ago called my mid-20s. And it's got one of my typical mid-20s melodramatic titles. This is called 3:30 a.m. Wrestling with Hope. And it's an instrumental. And so there's a lot of songs in here that I think at some point in time could maybe be like soundtrack stuff. I've always had this thought, never researched it, to like sell things to like TV shows and movies, because there's no melodies, it's just instrumental. And it's going to go right into a song called St. Anthony. For all you Catholics and non-Catholics out there, St. Anthony, of course, is the saint that you pray to when you've lost something. As it turns out, in my mid-20s, I used to lose a lot of things. And a Catholic friend, I'm not Catholic, a Catholic friend of mine taught me the power of the St. Anthony. And this is also the part of my life when I was kind of first diving into a lot of occult studies and metaphysics and that sort of stuff. And I found great success in the St. Anthony. And so since I found myself saying it a lot, I decided at one point, maybe I should just write a song about St. Anthony and just sing it. So when I'm walking around trying to find my glasses or my car keys, I could be singing to St. Anthony. So here we go. I'm going to play those two tunes right into each other. World premiere. Wrestle Without, 3:30 a.m. That cannot be found. If you'd bring it back to me, oh how happy I would be, and praise your name forevermore. John moment right there, right? And praise your name forevermore. Is that Philadelphia Freedom? Richard, good to see you in the house as always. Nate, WhiskeyJones.com in the house. Good to see you, Mr. Fehlauer. Dana, thanks for popping in right there real quick. So there you go. There's the first two. And I won't espouse on this too much, but yeah, I don't know. We'll leave it at that. Everybody's. This is not going to be Jason tries to figure out the difference between mysticism and science and theology today. That's a much bigger conversation than a half-hour afternoon delight show. But I will say that through those studies, there is. I'm not saying they're the same. They're definitely different energies. There's definitely different energy behind each of them, but there's definitely this sort of really magical intersection point where when you dive into stuff like that, and some stuff some of my Catholic friends have taught me, right? When you dive into there's a Catholic mysticism, right? So, and then when you really think about it, prayers and saints and ghosts and Holy Ghosts and whatnot, there's a spot where Catholic mysticism and Jewish mysticism and metaphysics and New Age manifestation and visualization, where there's this little spot, there's a crossroads, right? And I guess the devil is standing at the crossroads going, hey, which path do you want to take? They're all leading somewhere. So I don't know. I'm in my late 40s, man. I'm still trying to figure it all out, as I'm sure most of us are. So there you go, St. Anthony. All right, so now this next one, this next song, when we look at the, and again, welcome, if you've just joined us, today is Whacky World Premiere Wednesday. I've gone back into the, this was my very first ever staff paper book where I said to myself, before I forget everything I've ever written, I need to start putting this stuff down, print the lyrics, print out the charts. First time I ever did that in a collection, so I can have all my stuff in one spot, right? And so, like I was talking yesterday, I've told the story many times. My writing process tends to be, I write a song and then immediately forget I wrote it. I have forgot. I mean, and it's sad probably to think about this, or maybe a relief, because if I actually had all the songs I wrote in front of me, I'd be overwhelmed with the amount of material, quite frankly. But I have forgotten or lost as many songs as I have in my collection of hundreds of songs. Because I tend to like work on a song, write it, and immediately I'm like, okay, what's the next one? What's next? I got to keep moving. You know what I mean? And if I don't take time to write it down, or thank God we live in this era of, speaking of St. Anthony, you know what I'm doing right now? I'm looking for my phone. I'm looking around for my phone that I'm using to tape my Facebook Live. Welcome to Afternoon Delight with the absent-minded professor, Jason Hedrington. Thank God for the phone, because there's been so many times where I got an idea. And you throw it down real quick. And again, I forget about it. There's so many songs sitting in this phone. And I'll go back and listen, or I'll go back and look on the charts, and I'll think to myself, oh my God, I forgot about that song. That's great. Oh, let me figure that one back out again. That's like constantly my life. So today we're going back in the archives, and we're world premiering songs that have been here since the early 2000s that nobody has ever heard. That's what we're doing today. Songs that thankfully I wrote them down at least once way back in the day. This song is called Sailin', and you'll see this one actually has some co-writing credits. All right. The quick story, and none of them are ever quick stories. But that's why you're here. That's why you're my fans and my friends, because you love to hear me talk a lot, right? Very first band I ever jammed with were the guys, when my buddy Mark Berglund moved out here from Wisconsin with me. We went to Lupo's, the old Lupo's in the strip mall, and met all the guys from the Morning Glories, which is now Richie Romance, and what became Loose Change and is now Little Green Shack. First band we ever met and jammed with. Second group of guys we ever jammed with became our first band, and that was what would become Emergent Evolution, was first billed at the Funhouse as Work in Progress, because Todd called Tina like, oh, we got this band, it's kind of a work in progress, we're calling ourselves whatever, and of course she heard Work in Progress, wrote that down, and that was our name originally. But I believe it was, and we met at the Funhouse. So it was me and Mark met Todd. Todd had his buddy Phil DePietro. Eventually we met Ben Wazorek from Sock in Hellertown and Marcus Baum and all those guys. And that was our first band. So Todd, at the very first rehearsal ever, why am I telling you this story? Because the very first rehearsal I ever had in Bethlehem, in the basement of my row home on Carlton Avenue, where Mark and I invited Todd Patnode and Phil DePietro over, the very first ever jam in fall of 1997 when I moved to Bethlehem was this riff that Todd said, I got this riff. Let's just jam on this riff. And it's just like it's an E minor riff. It's not even the pentatonic. It's like the 7-7-4. It's 4 notes is what I'm getting at here. It's the square scale, not the pentatonic. And we slowly developed it, and we never played it, but it always rattled around my head. And then one day, Mark and I sat down and worked on it a little bit, and then Ben and I worked on it a little bit more, and I wrote it all down, but it never got played. The band never used it. I never used it in my solo career, but you'll see here, Sailing, credit to Todd Patnode in 1997, then credit to Ben Wazorek, the drummer, who added some sections in 98, and then credit to Jason Hetherington and Mark Berglund, 1:10:02, when the two of us sat down and fleshed it out. And then one more credit, Jason Hetherington, 1:19:03. That's when I finished the lyrics and added some chords. And now, with no further ado, here's a song that's always in my head. The arrangements in the studio are nice and lush and really cool, but it's never sounded good as a solo piece, so I've never played it. And now I play it as solo piano for you. Thanks for your patience. It's also Storytelling Day. It's not just Whacky World Premiere Wednesday, it's long-winded Wednesday. I smell a hit. Long-winded Wednesday. That's what it's going to be from now on. Somebody remind me of that. Write that down, or I'll forget it. Mark! Speaking of the guy that helped co-write this one, Mark in the house. Good to see you, Bergie. Yeah, and then what Mark is saying right there is before we were even work in progress and had our first gig at the Funhouse, because Todd knew Tina, we played the Funhouse open mic when Phil Stahl used to run the open mic. And so every time we would come up with a different name, we were work in progress there once, I think. But Phil Stahl, one of his shticks was if you didn't have a name, he'd give you a name. And one week he decided, you guys should be the... Is this my Phil Stahl voice? I don't know. You guys are going to be the disgruntled postal workers. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, the disgruntled postal workers. And that was also one of the band's first names. This is called Sailing. And we'll see how this sounds solo. Sailing on an information sea, searching for where the mouth and mind finally find. The illusion is all there is to see, is to be. You feel like you're searching for a minnow in the creep dark ocean deep. A glimmer of hope hanging off a skyscraper by a rope to reach the window that the ring is hiding behind. And this, I believe, was the Mark Berglund chord part. In a society-shaped jail, let the heart horse all your trails. Oh, I lost my spot. galaxies. Outside under the clouds, under the trees, reminds me there's great accomplishment in simply living. Surrender is the key to unlocking potentiality. Can you, beyond all hope, accept yourself in total? Face your fear, your mirror, and be satisfied. In a society-shaped jail, let the hard horse all your trails. You'll break free to live the life you dreamed you could lead. But wait, a glimmer of hope, hanging off a skyscraper by a rope, to reach the window that golden ring is behind. Oh, in a society-shaped jail, let the hard horse all your trails. You'll break free to live the life you dreamed you could lead. Sailing. There you go. And as you can see, there's like this 4-part harmony in my mind. So sometimes I'm like, should I go here? Should I go there? Which harmony should I do now? There you go. World premiere. World Jason premiere. Like I said, that one, very early days, the band, we practiced that one. Might have hit the open mic with that once or twice, but never played. All right. As long-winded Whacky World Premiere Wednesday continues, we got 2 more for you. All right, coming down the home stretch. Perfect. Who we got? Paul! Good to see you popping in, Paul. Richard, always good to see you popping in as well, man. And Lynn! Super fan Lynn, thanks for joining us once again, Lynn. Sandy! Don't mean to scare anybody. Sometimes we have these moments where when I pause for a second and a name pops up, and I jump on it, like, hey, what's up? Don't mean to scare anybody. So this one here is one of, whenever I remember this song here, or, oh man, this shirt must be polyester because I'm sweating like a mofo all of a sudden. Must be a poly blend. When I first moved to Bethlehem in the late summer of '97, so like I said, we're over 20 years deep, slowly approaching half my life in Bethlehem now after moving here from Wisconsin. I always think of that summer whenever I remember or see the chart for this song, because this was one of the very first songs I ever wrote in Bethlehem. And if there's any backstory, I mean, I just graduated college. I had discovered certain, let's just say I was following fish. And I just sort of discovered the sort of underground alternative lifestyle. And I was kind of going down those occulty, metaphysical sort of, yeah, man, like everything's in peace, man. Like, you know, we're all one mind, man, and one consciousness. And, you know, I was just going down that wormhole for a while. I was in that wormhole for a while. I don't know if I've ever totally escaped, quite frankly. But, and this was one of the first songs I wrote, and there's some lines in here that are definitely mid-20-year-old lines when you're talking about, man, if I ruled the world, man, like, I've got all the good ideas, man. Abby Hoffman called it, when he would look back. I saw an interview with Abby Hoffman once, where he was talking about looking back. Someone was showing him videos of his old speeches from the 60s radical era, and he was laughing at himself and saying, the arrogance of youth. So this is probably one of my arrogance of youth songs, and it's called Good Thing. And it was written on guitar, so I'm going to be playing the guitar. I always envision this, I guess in my fish phase, as the big stadium rock song. Everybody's going, yeah! Now that I got the melody, but it's been a while in a lot of these. If I could, I'd infect the whole world's head. I think it'd be a good thing. Light it up. Teach confidence, listen to your head. It's telling you a good thing. And since that's an old one, I don't know that I ever, since this was never played before here on World Premiere Wednesday. So this is 1997. Actually hand wrote the lyrics to this one. I don't think I ever fleshed out how it was going to end. So there you go. We'll figure that one out later. Sort of a timely one. Yeah, why listen to anyone but you? Which tells me that was that period of time when I was definitely going through that metaphysical phase of like, all the truths lie within, bro. Yeah, man. Man, you don't need no leaders. You don't need God. You don't need nothing, man. It's all in your heart. Good thing that was called. There you go. World Premiere Wednesday from 1997 in Jason's arrogant youth. Yo, man, if everybody just listened to me, man, I got all the answers. What? Why don't they just ask me, man? I got it all figured out. All right. And as World Premiere Wacky Wednesday comes to a close, I got one more for you. Claudia, Tara, a couple of school rockers in the house. Tara, Claudia, thanks for joining. So this one here, last tune of the day, for those who did just join us, what we're doing today is Jason's going back into his late 90s, early 2000s archive book here. I don't know, they even make, it's a good old Alfred Morris, right? Alfred Publishing. Spiral Bound music writing book. Everything in here is from between 1997. Actually, there's a couple in here from when I was in Wisconsin that carried over to Pennsylvania. There's a couple 1995 and 96 songs in here. And the oldest, newest one in here is 2002. And we're going back and finding songs that I've never actually played live in my solo career or with any of my bands. These are songs that some of the bands practiced. We're introduced to some of the bands. Maybe we tried them out. They never gelled. For those of you who have been in bands, you know how this works. If you've never been in a band, a lot of times what will happen is everybody's got ideas all the time. So you'll throw songs out, and sometimes the vibe is just there. You'll try them a couple times, and it doesn't stick. So you're like, let's put that away for a while. We'll come back to it. And then sometimes you come back to it. Sometimes you forget to come back to it. Sometimes you come back to it 5 times, and it finally makes sense. So these are songs that they never stuck with any of the bands. And this one here is called, in backwards writing, Down Around. J.E. Hedrington from 00 and 01. What I do was whenever I write a song and I put the name and the date on it, and then if I go back to it and make any sort of major additions or major amendments, I'll keep writing dates on there to sort of document the progress of the song. So this is a song that was written in 2000, was amended in 2001, and has not changed since then. And I remember this is the one song from the collection, everybody. All right. Maybe some of those other ones will pop up as time goes on. But this is the one song that I've always envisioned. I've got to get this one like in the repertoire. There's a couple songs in here where I'm like, dude, why? I just got to get, that's one I really like. So we're going to end the show today with one that I'm hoping this will be the impetus for getting this one in the rotation. Finally, after 20 years, Jason. Ay, ay, ay. There are people watching this show who I have songs who are older than they are that I've never actually played for people. And that's what today is all about. Life! Which reminds me, I will say this, a couple quick things before we play the last song. Thank you all for joining me. I was talking a little bit about this yesterday when I played the song about being comfortable at home. Like, I figured out, I was really meditating on this last night because there's a lot of people I got to talk to about a lot of things right now as life gets back to normal. Where I figured out one of the reasons why this past 3 months have been so great for me. And again, I consider myself very blessed. I know there are people who have not been at work. I know there's people who are sick. I know and the world is crazy. There's a lot of people who are very affected by the political atmosphere, and there's people who are literally affected by the racism and bigotry, and there's a lot going on in the world. I'm a very blessed man. If this is my moment where I say to the world, do I got some privilege? Yeah, because during a pandemic, I was able to work a little bit. I was able to do this and still do my art and play for people. I can still have gigs on the internet. People have donated at the Venmo and helped keep me alive and pay the bills. I've been able to teach online. I've been able to keep a good chunk of my students. and do online lessons, as frustrating as that can be sometimes. And you're like, I just want to show you how to do that. I've been able to keep at this, right? But what I've realized, besides being an artist, reclusive artist hermit who has just really loved being at home, quite frankly, I'm meditating on this and thinking about these people I have to talk to. And what occurred to me is it's this. This has been the first time since I've moved here anyway, where I can't remember the last time I took 3 months for myself. Like 3 months were the only thing I have worked on for 3 months. This is where we all get to just get comfortable and let Jason lie back on the couch for a second, on the psychiatrist's couch, and realize this is the first time that maybe I can think of since God knows when, since I moved here in 97, where I've had a 3 month stretch where the only thing I've worked on is myself, my music, my art, my stuff. And I think that is why I'm having anxiety about getting back to normal and going back out there in the world again and thinking about getting back to life as usual. And I think there's going to be, this is not any big bad news, but let's just, it's the moment is here, right? Because we're getting to the green period, blah, blah, blah. And I've just been thinking about a lot of really big decisions I got to make in my life, like some real big ones, because I mean, dude, I've got all this wonderful things happening, and I'm finally, there's momentum, and it's been a good 3 months for me, and I'm hoping to keep this momentum going. And I hope you're all okay out there as well. Hope you found peace in these 3 months. I thank you for being a part of this show over these 3 months. We could at least kind of hang out and make each other sane a little bit between this and the weekend 4-hour mega marathon show. So thank you for letting me take that tangent. And where that came from or why I brought that up, I don't know. I think I just was having one of those moments there, just kind of being brutally honest here in front of the camera. And so this here is a song that within all that I want to get into the sets and keep this thing going. This is called Down Around. And I hope to get it recorded for you soon. let's wrap all that up so we don't just sit here having a more moments with you. Becky and Scott Nelson, go Scott, man. All the way back to Stilson. Speaking of, we've just been going down memory lane here. There's a big memory lane right there. So there you go, for whatever all that was worth. Let's play this. Mark, yeah, you know what? I'll tell you what. Maybe tomorrow, if I can find it. Mark's just made a couple really great requests. So Mark, of course, is from those Emergent Evolution days I was talking about earlier. That some of those songs have never been played since. Dude, the Mountain song. I won't waste everybody's time by going down a deep geek wormhole here with Mark, but Mark is right now mentioning a bunch of songs that were songs that our band started and worked on hard in the studio and never really played out live. That Mountain song I've thought about a bunch of times, Mark, and it's still up here. Tra-la-la-la-lee, dance down the valley to the song of the mountain, dance in the fountain, sing it again. I've still got that melody in my head. I haven't thought of that song in years. That's how important that song was to me, and it never went anywhere. Mars Probe was my big 10-part space opera epic. So if there's ever been a time to bring out Mars Probe, it's in the Headeye era. So I'm going to work on that, Mark. And Just Admit It was the song we wrote about. We had this concept when the band broke up, when Emergent Evolution. So it's Story Day. It's Long-Winded Wednesday. I thank you for all sticking around here. So Just Admit It is another song where there's a group of songs that I've got here that I'll try to play some of these for all y'all ASAP. Just Admit It was one of the big theme songs from this concept album. Right when the band broke up, we were starting to work on this next concept album. There's a spiritual concept album we were working on and this political album we were working on. And the political album was this about this imaginary world, which is basically our world. It was called Comfy Land. So our idea was to describe America as this nation called Comfy Land. And all these people who were just, their number one priority in life was to be comfortable. And that's all they cared about. And the song, Just Admit It, Just a Minute, that Mark mentioned was sort of this like militant call to arms song. Let me dig that one up. I think I know where that's at. Come back tomorrow for all those some things right there, Mark. Maybe we'll make it an Emergent Evolution day tomorrow. And I'll definitely play the Salvation Neon Cross. Dude, I've had Salvation Neon Cross and a bunch of those things lined up for the Thursday show. The last couple weeks, haven't seen you. They're locked and loaded in the cannon, bro, just for you. So there you go. All right, Eric, thanks for joining us. Everybody, thank you so much. Mark, I've been playing that one regularly lately as well. Thank you so much for listening to me babble. Thanks for being my friends. Thanks for being my fans. And, you know, when I go off on these, you know, storytelling tangents, you stick with me. I still see there's still people in the room. So just thank you for everything you've all done for me over these 3 months. Let's keep it going. Let's play the song, Jason. How about that? The lush arrangements to this one. I always call this one my Steely Dan meets Pink Floyd soul space opera funk tune. Think about that for a second. Are coming down. Better stop and take a good look around. Happiness is all need be. You better start thinking positively. Negative thoughts attract exactly what they deserve. That love's the answer. I'm gonna make it all come down. I'll turn that frown around. I'm gonna make it all come round. Yeah, 'cause I found a sure shot. Gonna stop me now. Oh, why waste your face muscle on a frown? Can you dig it? Shit is coming down. You better stop, check where your brain's around. You're blaming others, yeah, that's real rich. You're finally finding out karma's such a bitch. Negative thoughts attract exactly what they deserve. That love's the answer. I'm gonna make it all come down. I'll turn that frown around. I'm gonna make it all come round. Yeah, 'cause I found a sure shot. Nothing's gonna stop me now. Waste your face muscle on a frown. Yeah, can you dig it? Let me flip the page so I can play the solo section, yeah. get my solos out. I've got the original demo of this song, right? And it would make the hairs on my arms stand up, and it still does. If any of you ever were all hanging out and you want to hear it, I can find the demo for you. But right here on this part here where it goes, and there's like this harmony guitar thing happening, there's like this whole arrangement happening behind the song. But right here was just these big harmony guitars. Negative thoughts, and right when I sang that, something went wrong with the guitar, and it went and I was like, perfect, but that wasn't it. It was negative thoughts attract exactly what they deserve. And then right here, when will you realize that love's the answer? And then right there, you can hear in the demo, my old dog Keisha shook her chains, and you can hear her chains rattling on the original demo recording. Hairs on your arm. When will you realize that love's the answer? I'm gonna make it all come down. I'll turn that frown around. I'm gonna make it all come round. Yeah. 'Cause I found a sure shot, nothing's gonna stop me now. Oh, I waste your face muscle on a frown. Yeah. I'm gonna make it all come down. I'll turn that frown around. I'm gonna make it all come round. Yeah. 'Cause I found a sure shot, nothing's gonna stop me now. Oh, I waste your face muscle on a frown. Yeah, can you dig it? Written in 2000, and for some reason, I don't know if you agree, I think it's a pretty cool song. For some reason, it's sitting here in this folder and on an old demo CD. Never played for anyone until today. There you go, World Premiere Wednesday. A moment 20 years in the making. It's been my pleasure, as always, to entertain you all today. I love you all. Thank you so much. If you haven't yet, you can visit the Venmo. Here, let's do this. You can visit the Venmo, make donations, cover charge, keep the afternoon shows going. If you haven't, you gotta get over to headeye.org. And as we always say, if you have not been to headeye.org yet, that's where we got the merch, like the t-shirts and all the groovy stickers. The album download USB fundraiser. There are 2 singles and 2 B-sides on here right now. And you buy this now and you will get the full album digitally when it comes out. And if nothing else, we thank you for going over there. Just go over there, check it out, see what we're doing. Give us some hits, give us some traffic, and at least stream the music. Check out all the music we've got over there at the website at headeye.org. But be careful of the wormhole. I'll see you tomorrow. All requests Friday, last call. You can throw some requests in there for Friday. So maybe I'll do all those requests for you on Friday, Mark. If I don't do them tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm thinking might be, I had a group of songs, the original song cycle. That was the original group of songs that became the musical that has now become the album we're working on now. We're going to go back to the roots, the very roots, from the same time period in the mid-2000s of when the current album actually started. That's tomorrow. Then I'll request Friday. Thanks everybody, bye! I'm gonna make it all come down. I'll turn your frowns around. I'm gonna make it all come down. Yeah. 'Cause I found a sure shot, nothing's gonna stop me now. Oh, why waste your face muscle on a frown? Can you dig it? I'm gonna make it all come down. I'll turn your frowns around. I'm gonna make it all come round. Yeah. 'Cause I found a sure shot, nothing's gonna stop me now. Oh, why waste your face muscle on a frown? Yeah. Can you dig it? Big Stadium Rock show closer. Off go the cannons. See you next time, Cleveland. Good night. See y'all tomorrow. Bye. Love you. Bye. Keep it positive. Stay safe out there. Keep wearing the masks. Why not? Come on. Not to end on a political note. I love you. Bye.